Greetings, this is Tim from the Old Dark Theater channel, and today I'd like to show how your grandparents likely had a better time at those old horror movie showings than we do today. I'm not talking about the movies themselves, but of course I prefer those older horror movies over today's offerings. I think the biggest change was in how they promoted those old films and how you often got more than just a show for that price of admission. Film companies have been promoting their films in a variety of ways pretty much since movies were offered to the public. In a cluttered film landscape, you needed a way to attract the public's attention, and a good promotion campaign was absolutely vital. Back then, just like today, more than just horror movies got promotion campaigns, but to be honest, horror movies got the more interesting promotions. Today we are concentrating on the horror and sci-fi movie promotions used back in the day and how they added quite a bit to those old movies. Of course, not all movies had promotions. Those promotions could be big or small. Some of them were conducted at a local level, and others were nationwide efforts put together by major Hollywood studios. Let's start by talking about movie ads. Whether they appeared in newspapers or on handbills, those were often the first thing the public saw before the actual movie made it to the theater. Here are a few that really catch your eye. Next, let's look at some horror movie marquees. These really got the public motivated to see those movies, and many of today's seem much more tame in comparison. What other events outside the theater would your grandparents have expected? Well, how about parades? Throw in an occasional costume contest. How about other types of contests? In this contest, a movie distributor was looking for a vampire to help promote Horror Hotel. Radio promotions for various horror movies became fairly common, but here's a couple really unusual ones.
We'll hit the water soon.
Transylvania 6-5. Oh.
Okay, those promotions got you in the door. What next? Well, one thing was giveaways. Here are some of the things you could get just by seeing that movie. Well, you got all that free stuff. What else can you expect? How about these events given at smaller promotion efforts? When a major studio released a film, it usually came with an eye-catching press book aimed specifically at theater owners. Many of the press books contained ideas for theater owners to draw patrons in with. Some were safer than others. Here are just a couple of the interesting props that were offered to theater owners. Most of the press books came with suggestions for theater owners to promote the movie, from tame to outlandish. Oh, is that all I can hear you say? Well, things could happen to you while the movie was going on too. And here's just a few final promotions that I thought were really fun. Not every horror movie shown back in the day had promotions like these, but many did, and it was a real treat to go to the theater then. You don't see that as much today. Did any of the promotions seem really fun to you? Leave me a note. Thank you, and don't forget,
watch the skies everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.